Right now on Hoosier News Source, another shooting in Bloomington, this time at an apartment complex.
And as wildfires continue to burn in California, some IU students are left to worry about their future of their family homes.
I have a possibility for snow as well as the forecast for the IU men's basketball game against Portland State. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier News Source. I'm Ella Rhodes.
And I'm Kenley Johnson. We start off our show with updates on yet another local shooting, this time on Halloween night at an apartment complex where many IU students reside. Police were called to the village at Mueller Park Apartments after shots were fired outside of the complex around midnight on Halloween. Witnesses say the suspect allegedly shot the victim in the head following an argument. Police say the victim was discharged from the hospital Friday morning with the bullet still lodged in his skull. Surgeons were not able to remove the bullet fragments. The suspect behind the shooting is still at large. No one else was hurt, but residents are still concerned for their safety.
You'd think they would take steps to prevent it from happening in the future, but so far there's been nothing, and it makes you not want to live there again because you're thinking you shouldn't be scared for your life if you're just going back to your apartment.
If you have any information about the suspect, contact the Bloomington Police Department.
It's been 1 week since Jessica Tran's death at Reed Residence Hall. I spoke with students who were there when emergency services arrived. Take a look.
Last Tuesday, tragedy struck IU when freshman Jessica Tran unexpectedly passed away. Students recalled what happened that hectic morning.
I was sitting right here in the lobby, and there was a whole bunch of cops coming out and a whole bunch of cop cars, and I was really curious about what happened.
The first 911 call was around 8:30 in the morning when Reed resident Scotty Flores was getting breakfast.
So I texted my friend, and I asked her about what was happening, if she knew why there was a whole bunch of cops, and she ended up telling me that her suite mate passed away.
Tran's parents didn't find out about their daughter's death until later in the afternoon. However, Flores mentioned that around 10 a.m., the whole building knew.
Reed emailed every Reed resident and every floor to let them know that you have a meeting from 8 to 9 for Reed and Clark.
Around 6 CAPS counselors stood on this stage right here, addressing Reed students about Jessica Tran's death Tuesday morning. CAPS counselors talked about how they are offering free counseling services to all students affected by Jessica Tran's sudden death.
Jessica Tran was a member of the Groups class of 2019 along with Casey Allison. Groups is a program for minority students who can't afford college. Members take classes in the summer to help them prepare for the fall semester.
The group staff and all our academic advisors come, and some of the CAPS people, they talk to us about the counseling they offer here and different services to help us get through the grieving process.
Many group students knew Jessica well and attended a special service held in the Wilkie Auditorium Sunday night. IU continues to hold events in Jessica's remembrance. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Ella Rhodes.
Tran's death is still an ongoing investigation. Follow us on Twitter for updates on the case. The Sidney and Lois Eskenazi Museum of Art reopens this Thursday after undergoing $30 million in renovations. There are 2 new entrances to the museum, as well as new classrooms, studios, expanded gallery space, and a cafe. The museum originally closed for renovations in May 2017, but starting at 4 p.m. on Thursday, the museum will kick off its Museum Fest and officially reopen to the public.
Next week, the IU Student Government Executive Branch will conduct a student physical fitness survey. It will consist of questions about how often students exercise and its correlation to mental health. The survey is in response to lower traffic at the Student Recreational Sports Center, which students automatically pay almost $80 for every year. Students can look for a link on social media, a text, or a physical copy next week. On Sunday, the Los Angeles Fire Department announced that the Getty wildfire has been 79% contained and the evacuation order was lifted. I spoke with an IU student studying in LA to see how the fires are affecting her. Since last Monday, the Getty fire in Los Angeles, California has destroyed 745 acres of land, 10 homes, and damaged 15 more. This is the 4th largest fire in the city this month. The fire was deemed an accidental start, caused by a tree branch breaking off and landing on nearby power lines during high winds.
And recently, LA has been impacted by some fires in the Bel Air area, the Getty Center. Luckily, we were in Hollywood, but so it hasn't really impacted us that much, other than like some people can't go to their internships because it's like in areas where there's a lot of smoke and a lot of roads are closed.
With 2019 already having over 6,190 wildfires, residents are now well educated on what to do on the chance of evacuation. The fire department has also cleared brush and trimmed trees around power lines to reduce the threat of this happening again.
IU has their back, and they told us they'd email us if we ever need to evacuate. And also, we have emergency backpacks, and in there they have like food rations of like water and like there's like a first aid kit and stuff like that. So I mean, we feel pretty safe.
With the majority of the fire having already been put out, firefighters will remain on scene for the next several days, extinguishing hotspots and patrolling the area to identify any potential hazards. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Kenley Johnson. Although the majority of the fires have been contained, we want to thank all the firefighters for their hard work and bravery, and we wish IU students their safety as they finish their semester in LA.
Election Day is underway right now in Bloomington, and on this year's ballot, 2 spots on Bloomington City Council. This past week, candidates from both District 2 and District 3 regions of Bloomington made their way to Woodburn Hall for a town hall forum to answer questions and concerns from IU students. The 5 Bloomington City Council candidates clashed over student issues including campus safety, housing restrictions, and monitoring and control of electric scooters. We will keep you updated on this race as election results continue to come in. Coming up, Caroline Clare joins us in studio with our weekly weather report.
And I have all you need to know about this week in sports. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It looks like a sunny weekend is headed our way. Caroline Clare joins us now with a detailed look at this week's forecast. Caroline?
Thanks, Kinley. On Thursday, we will be looking at a chance for precipitation coming through. As you can see, with a large system coming through making its way east, the majority of the precipitation will be in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Around Little Rock, we'll be seeing around a ½ inch of precipitation, but as we go where we are, it'll be only about 1/10 of an inch. So if you are going to class on Thursday, make sure you bring an umbrella and a rain jacket. Luckily, this precipitation won't be continuing into the weekend for our IU basketball game against the Portland State Vikings. As you head to Assembly Hall at noon, it'll be 40 degrees and sunny, so just make sure you bring a jacket or a light coat as it will be a little bit chilly. Game time, 2 p.m., 43 degrees and sunny. And as you leave Assembly Hall, hopefully with a victory, it will be 44 and sunny. A beautiful day. Just make sure you do have a jacket or a light coat. Now let's take a look at what's in store for the rest of the week. Once again, with that system on Thursday, as temperatures do reach near freezing, we can expect a rain-snow mix. So make sure if you are driving to campus to know that roads may be slick and to bring a rain jacket as well as an umbrella. On Friday, 38 and partly cloudy, and once again, a beautiful day on Saturday for that game. And Sunday, we have a high of 50, and there is a small 20% chance of rain. And then as we go into next week, temperatures will be dropping, so make sure you are bringing a coat as you head to class. Make sure you enjoy this nice fall week, and remember to cheer on your Hoosiers at the game this Saturday. Kenley, Ella, back to you.
Thanks, Caroline. It was a big weekend for IU sports, and Saturday marked the first home night game of the football season.
IUSTV sports reporter Maxwell Glenn is here with more. Maxwell?
Well, once again, it was a big weekend for IU athletics. Starting on the pitch, IU men's soccer took home some hardware with them this weekend. They were away, so you're seeing some highlights from their last home game versus Ohio State. Indiana traveled to East Lansing for their final regular season game and came home with a regular season championship. Only one goal was scored in the 1-0 victory. Victor Becerra, one of those freshmen I just keep talking about, he drew a foul, and Jack Mayer sent it home. Mayer's third goal of the season is all IU needed. Roman Celentano, between the pipes, he locked it down, another freshman, and the rest of the game he protected that lead. He had 2 saves in the game, and that was his 6th shutout this season. That's 2 championships in a row, IU's 16th Big Ten regular season title in program history. The Big Ten regular season champs will be the #1 seed in the Big Ten tournament, and they're bringing the action back to Bloomington. They are going to face either Ohio State or Rutgers on November 10th. IU has a win over both the 8 and 9 seeds. Now over in the pool, the IU men's swim team and swim and dive team made a splash at home against number 6 Michigan and number 23 Iowa. Swimming in backs, Burns and Sammy, all 3 of them actually, NCAA B cuts. Sammy won 4 events, the 100 free, the 200 free, and the 2 IM, also the 4 free relay. Sammy had 3 B cuts in the 100, the 200, and the 2 IM. And diving, Gold Scott and Vanda Vender had NCAA zones qualifying scores. Gold in both 1 meter and 3 meter with a 339 at 1 and 404 at 3. IU started the weekend off with a win over Michigan, 165 to 135. That's an important win for the team as Michigan sits at number 6 and is a historically successful team. Indiana kept it rolling with a dominant victory versus Iowa. 245 to 55 was the final. Now they're 4-0 with 3 wins versus ranked opponents. And finally, IU football is already bowl bound, wrapping up a great weekend for IU athletics. They defeated Northwestern 34-3 in their only night game so far. And yikes, was it a cold one. But things are only going to be colder for IU as it was announced that Michael Penix Jr. will miss the rest of the season after undergoing surgery on his clavicle. 3 games remain in the regular season, and now the Hoosiers will be back without freshman quarterback Michael Penix. The number 5 Penn State Nittany Lions await the Hoosiers for their next matchup. That game will be November 16th.
So do we have an idea of when and where the bowl game will be for the Hoosiers?
Well, in all the projections, IU keeps moving around. They've been on both coasts and everywhere in between, so we'll see coming up. But it's going to be interesting to see how they perform without Penix.
I mean, I think we're still going to do great. We've done amazing this season, and the new quarterback just got to step it up. So.
Yeah, and Ramsey's had some experience. He hasn't just been sitting on the bench all year, so it's good. It's something to look forward to, at least, that he's had some experience this season. Won't just be coming out cold.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, thanks, Maxwell, and thank you for watching Hoosier News Source.
To learn more about this week's stories, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at IUSTV News.
I'm Ella Rhodes.
And I'm Kinley Johnson from Bloomington, Indiana. We'll see you next week.